Hey everyone, it's Marco here, and it's not often I come across a game that looks like a mashup of Cyberpunk 2077, Stardew Valley, and The Sims. This upcoming management game is dripping in cyberpunk vibes, and it sees you growing your business from nightclubs to restaurants, socializing, pumping out your apartments, and a whole lot more. This, my friends, is Nivalis, and it's all set in this cyberpunk world along with these neon-drenched voxel visuals and synthwave beats. The game is inspired by that one scene in Bladerunner where Deckard is waiting for his noodles at that restaurant, and the devs just thought, hey, what if we made a game that you'll be able to run that restaurant in a city like that? So if that sounds interesting, well, stay tuned, as they've just released more gameplay footage, so I'm going to break down what this game is all about, and let's get started. So what do you actually do in the game? Well, in Nivalis, you're basically just trying to live out your best life. As mentioned, it's a management/life sim, so you'll be trying to grow your own business, meet friends, maybe do some fishing, or maybe even try to find some love. It looks like it's trying to do a lot here, and looks like a perfect game if you're just trying to get lost in the world. And if you do enjoy getting lost in games, maybe subscribe to my channel to help you find more games like this. Now, Nivalis is from the devs Ion Lands, who brought us Cloudpunk, so you might think that the games look very similar, and you'd be correct. Both games are set in the same city, but this time around you'll be building up a business instead of delivering packages. So where Cloudpunk was more about doing things quickly and efficiently, Nivalis is more about taking it easy and trying to soak up the atmosphere in the world you're in. The devs even switched out the third-person view with the first-person view to really increase that immersion, making you really want to feel like you're trying to make it in this big open city. In the game, there will be 4 main story pillars, and they'll intertwine together, as well as having various side stories going on with the different characters. When it comes to the city, not much is known about it, except that it's not doing too well according to the creative director from Ion Lands, which I have to say has the coolest name ever. He mentioned that the very old city is falling apart and is now flooded, hence why there's some boat action going on, which I'll get to later. The city is run by AI and CorpSec, or corporate security, so everything is managed by corporate interests, which no one really enjoys, naturally. But in the end, you'll be trying to make money in order to survive. And like with most business sim games, you're going to be starting out small. Something like a food stall, a noodle stand, who knows, maybe even want to sell some stim packs to people. Slowly but surely, you'll be making money, upgrading your business, and soon hoping to move on to bigger and better places like owning your own nightclubs or restaurants. Now, owning multiple businesses won't be easy, but thanks to a latest dev post, you'll be able to include the manager role, which means that you'll be able to hire managers once your places reach a certain level, and then they'll be able to do your duties to make your life a lot easier. And what does daily business duties look like? Well, from keeping your supplies stocked, your staff happy, and making sure your greenhouses are running smoothly too. Yes, even though you're living in this techno-happy concrete wonderland, greenery is still scattered here and there, including these greenhouses to farm various crops like fruits and vegetables. I mean, you'll eventually be able to upgrade these too, having the ability to grow even your own meat. Yeah, can't wait for that. And from the sounds of things, this farming aspect seems pretty in-depth, with you having the ability to control various parameters like temperature, humidity. I mean, even light sources will play a role. I guess if you're a Stardew Valley fan, this is where you'll be spending quite some time in. And with that latest gameplay trailer, it also showed off some of the furniture placement that you can do for your business, like tables and chairs, and it also seems like many other objects will be able to be placed too. This all seems very exciting, and it's cool that you can make your businesses your own and make them look how you want them to. And that even goes as far as to the menu items themselves. And from the look of this map, it looks like you'll have plenty of places to open up new businesses and expand your noodle empire. I mean, if that's your thing. Now, with all of that managing, you'll probably want to have a little bit of a social life too. Maybe you'll want to explore this fine city, coming with its unique districts that host a whole range of different characters to interact with. And what's crazy is that you'll be able to use those multiple dialogue paths in each of these characters, like each of them will have their own story. But what I have to say is that the devs seem to really be going all out here, even using motion capture and voice acting for like over 100 citizens to help this city come to life. What also helps is the game's full day and night cycle, as well as various weather effects. Personally, heavy rain in a cyberpunk city is easily one of my favorite moods, so I just can't wait for that. Also, it seems like fishing is going to play a role in Nivalis. You'll even be able to own your own boat and just go cruising around, with the new trailer showing you go off into the open, bleak-looking sea like you're some kind of techno dredge player. Fishing is one of the elements that makes me feel like this will lean more towards the cozy and relaxed side of sim games, which I cannot complain about, especially when it comes to styling your own apartments. As someone who can easily spend hours decorating my place in any game from The Sims to even Valheim, this might be the section of the game I could easily spend a lot of time in. The latest trailer also showed off more furniture placements with some real funky carpets, chairs, even light designs going on. Honestly, everything from the visuals, even the soundtrack in this game, I cannot wait to try out. Now, as mentioned, according to the dev team, one of the main inspirations of this game was that one scene from Bladerunner where Deckard is waiting for his noodles, surrounded by neon lights and busy people, and I gotta say, I think they nailed it here. Well, at least so far. Starting with the visuals, yes, they've gone full voxel graphics, which some people might not be a fan of, but hey, you know what? I love them, and I'm happy to see devs doing something different instead of just trying to push out AAA graphics. Those often just cause more problems than they're worth. Plus, just look at this game. Damn, cruising around at night with just looking at all of these neon lights going past you, it just looks amazing. However, they did opt for having non-voxel graphics for the characters, as the devs just wanted to have more believable animations, making the characters just more expressive, which I totally get. And when it comes to the sound design, well, there's no skimping there either. Harry Critchley is handling the soundtrack, and he worked on the previous game Cyberpunk 2, so if you're into synthwave like me, you're going to be in for a treat. I'm a huge fan, and I just can't wait to hear what Harry will be bringing to the table this time around. Overall, I think Nivalis is looking to be one of the most original cyberpunk games out there. But besides all of this, how has the game been progressing so far? So some good news, no early access. Nivalis is dropping straight into its full release. Yes, they have been taking their time, but I guess they didn't want to release a half-baked game, and after going through all of their dev updates, which they've been sending out monthly, it's easy to see why it's been such a challenge. However, these updates are giving me a lot of hope for the game, as each month they're giving us just a little taste of what's to come, from interesting characters to more details about the gameplay itself. But all of this excitement does leave some room for concerns, and some parts might leave people a bit disappointed. For example, it's not going to be a completely open world city. Instead, you'll only be able to explore certain areas or districts freely, while other parts of the world are just background environments. However, if they are able to capture such immersion in each of those different districts or the areas, then yeah, I don't really care. Then comes the character customization, or I guess the lack of it, as because it's in first person, there's not going to be any of that. I'm kind of sad about that, but I guess it makes sense if you only ever going to see your arms and hands. But maybe in the future though, you might be able to customize yourself and I don't know, maybe have a mirror or places that you will be able to see yourself. There also won't be any multiplayer, which I guess makes sense as yeah, most of the management games I play are single player, and to be honest, I'm totally cool with that. Then comes the release date. They've marked it for a 2025 release, which I am hoping for as the date has been pushed out before, but it is looking very hopeful that at the moment we will be playing it sometime this year. Lastly, who will be able to play it? Well, first and foremost, it will be coming out on PC with full controller support. If you have a Steam Deck, well, they have stated that they're exploring various handheld consoles and will be sharing more news about that when it's ready. And the same goes for consoles and VR support too. So what do you think? Is Nivalis on your radar? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. But other than that, it's Marco here from Easily Distracted Games. And as always, don't stop gaming.